Welcome to another episode of Rainbow Popcorn, the podcast. Hello, Brett.
Hello, Lee.
How are you?
I am good.
Good. We are reviewing this
I always feel
week.
like good. I need to come at something fabulous. There we go. I don't fucking know. It's going to be an interesting
We are
one this
reviewing
week.
this week Love, Simon, the film from 2018.
Sponsored by Kleenex for Lee.
I did cry a lot.
I knew you would.
I've got a lot to say about this movie.
Ooh.
This is one of my favourite movies. I like this movie.
It's very good. You know
very
what I
good.
was watching, and you kind of said it's because it's mainstream.
Yeah.
We could also have done it for Two Drink Cinema.
Yeah.
And I was like, if we did do it, would score quite well.
Yeah.
Bit of horny, huge house. You cried a whole fucking movie.
Yes. We could, to be honest, do all of these movies for Two Drink Cinema.
Yeah.
There's no reason we can't.
No, segregation.
It's just that, and it's something we've talked about before, a lot of queer movies up until more recent times have not been in the mainstream. Mm-hmm. And Two Drink Cinema is our more mainstream movie review podcast. This is it's often talked about, and at the time was talked about as the first movie with a mainstream American teen movie with a gay character as the main character.
So what is the difference between this and Bros being the first gay rom-com mainstream by a major studio? Because that's how they're touting that.
Yeah, that's a good question. I feel like
Good use of the word.
teen rom-com is different.
All right.
They're both in the romance section of Disney+.
Well, I haven't seen Bros yet, so I assume it's rom and com. Apparently, I will laugh and cry. So there you go.
I did both in this movie.
Samesies.
Probably equal
Not
parts.
full cry. Like a tear up. Fuck, Jennifer Garner was good. Anyway, I'm skipping ahead.
She is very good, and she's a very good mum actor now.
Yeah.
I watched Yes Day.
She's done the transition from secret agent to mum quite well.
Yeah. I watched a movie called Yes Day.
Sounds
because
terrible.
I didn't think it was going to be a kids movie. I thought it was going to be more a family movie.
Yesterday sounds like one of those movies like He's Just Not That Into You, Valentine's Day, New Year's Eve, where it's just huge ensemble cast.
No. It's a mum and dad, and I can't remember who the dad is. I wanted to say Jason Bateman, but that's Juno.
Okay.
So it's Jennifer Garner and her husband.
Yep.
Who is... and they are so swept up in their career that they don't really have time and they've lost the connection with their family.
Okay.
They used to be much more exciting people, and now they are not. And so they decide to give the kids a yes day where the parents have to say yes to everything.
Okay. Yeah, I think I vaguely remember Edgar Ramirez.
Yeah.
Edgar Ramirez.
Yeah, what's he been in?
Looking at him, that Versace thing, he played Versace and got shot.
No, he's been in other things. But, yeah, the kids are getting a bit out of control and the parents can't control them. So they give them a yes day and it goes a bit awry, of course. And it was a much more kid movie than I thought.
Was a bit cheaper by the dozen, he?
I cried. Yes. Of course I cried. It's a family and they were all happy at the end.
She said yes.
Yeah. Anyway, I cried a lot during Love, Simon. It's a very good movie. It's very well made. We're going to rate it on the Pride score. And then there's a few things that people weren't happy with about the movie.
Ooh.
And we may discuss them. The P of Pride stands for presentation.
Yep.
It looks very good.
It looks good.
It's only 4 years old.
It's not like revolutionary, but I think the thing that is good about it is it's just like made like a normal rom-com-y teen thing.
Yep. In terms of putting a queer story into the mainstream, it is shot and it is made exactly like, if you watch this in a time in the future where having queer main characters is not as exciting.
Yeah.
And you watch this and then you watch Pretty in Pink, You're just going to be like, yeah, they're both American team movies.
It's John Hughes-ish, but kind of, better than The Breakfast Club anyway. Look, I'm not a fan. I think, I don't know how many times I've said that on various podcasts.
Big things in and then just we'll move on.
Clickbait. Rainbow Popcorn podcast doesn't like John Hughes.
It is an attractive cast. That's part of the presentation.
You were like...
Nick Robinson is cute, but he's not too cute, which I think is good.
Yeah.
It's not like a very pretty boy main
character. It's not
character.
Zac Efron.
Yeah, or it would have been, Leo back in the day.
Yeah.
Keenan Lonsdale is better looking.
Yeah.
Imagine being Keenan Lonsdale, right?
Yeah.
You are very good at soccer, the actor, Bram. You're very good at soccer and you look like Keenan Lonsdale.
Yeah.
And then getting on a Ferris wheel with a boy who you flirted with over emails for a year and saying, are you disappointed that it's me?
You're like, fuck no.
You are the best looking boy in school.
He's also a triple threat.
Yeah.
He's black and Jewish and gay. He's got a tough life.
And he can also sing and dance.
Yeah, he's a very good actor. Did he become Kid Flash?
Yeah, he's Kid Flash.
Yeah.
And something else.
I saw him in some, because he's Australian.
He's also
Aussies in it.
Yeah, he's also bi in real life.
Yeah.
And he came out after this movie as part of the publicity. No, that's cynical of me.
That sounds like Heartstopper. Ooh,
No,
controversial.
he was forced to come out.
Fucking God, we're terrible, aren't we?
Oh, we people are terrible, but the internet is terrible.
Internet gays are terrible.
Gee, the guy from Grindr was like...
Who made Grindr?
Yeah, the guy who...
That guy from Grindr. You're going to have to narrow it down.
He's 107 metres away.
That black screen, yeah.
that sunset from Grindr. The guy that started Grindr, right?
Yeah.
He feels terrible because he feels like he's made the worst thing for people to use. And I'm like,
but
it's not the platform's fault.
No,
people are dicks.
No, but it's also like, it's not like people are using it for what it was not intended for.
Yeah.
It's not like Facebook was made to connect people and now it's just ads.
Yeah.
Like Grindr was made for gays to get together and that's what they're doing. Sure, they're being assholes about it.
Yeah, but that was
but
like...
that's
this is
what's going to happen anyway.
I saw this shared on Facebook. I was like, it's not his fault that guys are assholes on his app.
Yeah, yeah.
And he said, we tried to do some things. And he really, this article was just an ad for a new app that he's made because he got bought out of Grindr ages ago. He's made a new app that's meant to be better. That in order to make a profile...
They all go to the same place because humanity's fucked.
In order to make a profile, you have to take a live picture of yourself making whatever hand gesture the app tells you to make at the time to prove that you're real.
For YouTube, if you go on YouTube, there's some good gestures in there.
I'm just going to make that one a reel.
Good. I think
good-looking cast.
Good-looking cast.
Nick Robinson, Keenan Lonsdale.
Anything with Josh Duhamel gets a tick from me. Jesus Christ.
He's the only thing worth watching about that Las Vegas series.
Yeah. God.
James Caan's good, I guess.
And that movie, Life as We Know It, with him and Katherine Heigl.
Oh, yeah.
That's actually a good movie. You would cry.
Okay,
you would cry.
Jennifer Garner's better looking than Katherine Heigl, though. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Wait, it takes me time to think about that.
I cried when she talked to him after he came out,
God,
but then I stopped crying because she didn't actually hug him and just walked out of the room.
I didn't even think of that.
That's
like,
true. Oh, I love you.
You're the
blah,
same.
blah, blah. You're the sun, same, whatever.
Bye.
And then she's just like, and then walks off.
It's okay. Weird.
Just going to leave your crying, newly come out son in the lounge room on his own.
Maybe it was like only one of the parents can hug him.
And then we're leaving that to make the comment about...
Grindr joke gets in there. There you go.
We leave the hug to make the comment about masculinity.
Yes.
When the very obviously masculine ex-quarterback of the football team is the crier and the hugger. I never played football.
No.
Also, one thing I liked about the presentation, how it was made, is how they repeated the shot of the handing of the coffees.
I do like that. Like
To
in
have
all,
four
it
at the start,
four, and then just one,
then one,
and then
oh,
5.
'cause he's
But
got no friends.
yay!
And then 5 because he's got the best looking boy in school.
Oh,
Love.
um,
What else did you say?
I
About
like this. I don't know if we've commented on this as part of presentation much, but maybe in Birdcage, I think we did. Was around the production design of it.
Yeah.
I think the presentation of how they did decorated and everything, Simon's bedroom is good
Yeah.
because it kind of tells you the kind of character he is, and it does fit with that. And also like Tony Hale's office as well.
Oh, he's so good, Tony
bloody-
Hale.
Because he's this dorky principal and he has all these sayings and everything.
He's so good. And I like how like Simon's like, yeah, that's a good poster.
Yeah. And the other thing that was like, it was like this running through thing of cabaret.
Yeah.
And it's like, randomly they'd be in the school, there'd be a cabaret poster. I'm like, yeah, because that's what a real school does.
Yeah, the production design of the school was very good.
Yeah.
This was a book, and I've read
Yes.
the book. So
Okay.
I'll make a couple of comments, not too many, about the book.
Did they sing,
As we go.
did they do cabaret in the book?
I think so.
Okay, good. This is, when we're done, this is really going to look like an actual German sex dungeon.
Don't ask me how I know.
Sex dungeon. Wow, that escalated. Don't ask me how I know.
Two out of the funniest characters are the teachers.
Oh, Tony Hale is Tony Hale. I think I was getting the vibe that a fair bit of it was ad-lib and improv,
Yeah.
especially when it was him and Simon, because you could see
Simone.
you could see that
Nick Robinson had
he
to think.
acted differently,
Yeah.
like Nick Robinson did. Because it was different. Yeah, we had to think.
Yeah.
And
When he
then
also like,
I was an extra in The Lion King. She's so good.
and then she's
Gonna
like,
sell it. Get my tubes tied.
and she goes, when I was told that no student, no matter their talent, was to be left out of this musical, I doubted whether that was right. That's it. That's all.
That's my whole speech. And her at the end, at
then
the end,
and
and
then
it's like
she's trying to
like,
say something.
"Wah," and she's like real into it. She's like,
Yeah.
"Wah," from the
And
sideline.
then the letter falls down. She's like, I don't get paid enough for this.
Yeah, it goes, "Stop making out. This is war, Germany. You're Nazis. More anger."
More anger. When she, in that same scene where she makes that little speech, she was like, that was, and she's like, Cal, help me out. He goes, that was a start. She goes, yeah, that was a start.
Siraj, stop pretending that trumpet is your penis. It's a rental.
It's a rental.
Anyway, that's got nothing to do with presentation.
That's coming up in dialogue. We'll do that whole bit again.
Yeah, I think that. Look, it's like it looks good.
It looks good.
People look good.
And it looks how
It's shot well.
Genre's meant to look.
Yeah, and there are some follow shots. The thing with the thing, and then when he's walking into school for the first time, and then when he's walking to school after they got exposed, for lack of a better word.
Yeah. Outed.
Outed. That's
That's
better
much
word.
better word.
Thank you.
That's the word. I'm going to give it a 4.25.
Ooh, wowzers.
It's very good, and it hasn't aged because it's 4 years old.
I went and saw this in the cinema.
Me too. I saw a preview screening.
Did you go alone like I did?
No.
I didn't. It was like a Saturday. When I was living in the city, and it was a Saturday, and it was like 38 degrees. Or something.
Good time to go to the movies.
So I was just like, fuck this, I'm going to Melbourne Central.
That's 97 degrees for our American listeners.
Oh, there you go.
For the one country in the world that uses Fahrenheit, that's 97 degrees.
Fucking idiot. I'll give it a 4.
Did you go to the Big Greta Union?
No, I went to the Hoyts at Melbourne Central.
I feel like just that.
And I was like, I don't give a shit about... I've gone to the movies by myself before.
Yeah.
A lot of the times it's during the, I will lower the average age by about half sometimes.
Yes.
I don't give a shit.
I saw a meme that I
don't have to share my popcorn with anyone then.
I'm all for doing things on your own, not having to do them with someone.
Yep.
I went to see a Kylie concert because it
I
was
didn't
around the
wanna go.
time of our birthday.
Yeah.
Because I share a birthday with Kylie Minogue. So we're both so incredibly talented Geminis. And my wrist. That's your shooting wrist from all the netball.
I was pretty good at that today. Anyway, continue.
And I was like, I want to go, but no one wanted to go with me. So I just went by
Yeah, I
myself.
don't know why I didn't. Okay, I'm going to put it out there. I'm not a huge Kylie fan. Continue. If you said now, though, would you go and see Kylie? I would go. I'm doing this thing now where I'm just going to go see people that I'm somewhat interested in before they die.
Or before they at least stop touring.
I could have gone to Whitney Houston, but I didn't. Then what happened? She died.
Yeah, but I remember we looked at tickets and the cheapest ticket was like $250.
Yeah, and at the time when I was a student, I think.
Yeah, and then I read reviews and she was awful.
I wouldn't have given a shit. It's like when people were like, oh, Christina wasn't well. She didn't sing that well. I'm like, if that's her not singing well, then fucking me. Like, Jesus.
No, but Christina...
She was preggers. Whitney was...
But also
Whitney.
Christina, like, picked and chose the bits that she was going to, like, belt out, not sing, give to the backup singers. I think that review of Whitney, God rest her, was... she was just awful.
I would still pay money, maybe not $250, to go see shit Whitney. Shitney. Anyway, that's a bit off topic, but not because she does get a little...
I saw a meme
Okay, yep, good.
of going to a public restaurant of your own is a new level of loneliness, one thing says. Then the reply says, no, going to a restaurant on your own is a new level of confidence.
I wouldn't eat alone, though. I wouldn't go drinking. This sounds like loneliness.
Yeah.
Ready? This sentence sounds like a new level of loneliness. I would not go out and drink and eat alone. I'll just drink and eat at my house by myself. I've done it for the last 2.5 years. I didn't have a choice.
I'll just Uber Eats.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Brings, and I'll be right.
I did that once. There is a bottle shop quite close to me, like a 10-minute walk.
We've walked there.
Once during a lockdown, had I already gone outside for that?
Yeah, say yes so that the listeners don't judge you.
But it was raining and I don't have a car. I didn't have a car at the time, so I Jimmy brought. No, I tippled. That's what it was, tippled.
Oh, right. Anyway.
Go
and do things on your own.
Go
like,
to the...
Go through a drive-through iced coffee.
Like I wouldn't go to our bar on my own.
Pride of our Footscray.
Oh, I could. No, but then I don't have any friends to talk to distract from the people that I don't want to talk to me.
But
that sounds really bad.
That's how good our bar is, Pride of our Footscray.
Because it's a community.
It's a community bar and people will talk to you.
Even if they are wearing terrible red wigs.
And you can chat to someone and they'll chat. And we know the owner. So you can chat to him and then he might introduce you to someone and then you've got friends. And then it's the bar where everybody knows your name.
Bette Midler.
Okay.
Presentation,
we've done our
we've done a
scores.
4.25 and a 4, respectively.
Representation.
Look.
All right.
I mean, tick a box. That sounds like it's box ticking.
The cast is very diverse. You have obviously the queer main character.
Yeah.
Whose best friend is of colour.
Yes.
Whose second best friend is white.
Yeah.
Whose new best friend is of colour.
Whose then love interest is of colour and black and Jewish and gay.
Black and Jewish and gay.
Lyle's Jewish, we assume. No, we do know that.
Yes, is. But
Siraj is Indian.
Siraj is Indian.
Drama teacher
of colour.
Martin's an arsehole.
One of the kids has a mixed race parents.
True.
Abby has a single mum.
Yep.
So there's lots of coverage.
Yeah.
Which this movie, I think, proves to other movies is not hard to do.
No, and it's not like...
Because
it doesn't come off like ticking a box.
Yeah.
Like...
10 years ago, those 4 kids are white.
They're all white. Everybody's white.
Not
Not even 10 years ago. Did you say 10?
Yeah.
Not even 10, 5.
This is 4 years ago.
From then. Like,
4 years before that, so 10 years.
Oh.
So if you do... Okay.
Like,
9 to 10 years ago. 9 to 10 years ago.
I'm saying 9 years. It's a much
This movie, it's a big difference between 2022 to 2012 and
Three-
2013.
yeah.
That was when wokeness became a thing,
Yeah.
2013.
Gosh.
And the Herald Sun comments on Facebook just went off.
Yeah. Who? Look,
For that, it's got a lot of things that's a
The
tick.
diversity of colour is good.
Yes.
That sounds bad to say. That doesn't sound right. Anyway, and
The cultural representation is good.
yes, the story is a good representation because he's not portrayed as a stereotypical. You know,
Alright.
he's not the other gay.
So
Let's you know what I mean.
there's an article that one of the big issues is that Simon is only accepted as a character, and therefore Love, Simon is only accepted as a film because Simon is passable.
Oh,
The
no.
other boy is the one that is bullied.
What?
Simon is not.
Simon is.
But the way this article wrote was that like the whole school bullied the other boy.
Yeah.
Like, no, it was just
No, it was
those
just those
two arseholes
dicks.
who also
Also
bullied,
bullied
Simon.
Simon. Yeah.
Like, who also probably bullied Siraj,
Yeah.
you know, and probably bullied Martin.
And
probably
Simon bullied and they others bullied Martin.
Yeah.
Well, he's a dick.
He's a dick.
Like,
Not that he deserves
come
it
on.
because he's a kid, but he is a dick. So there have been a few criticisms, and I remember at the time criticisms of the representation because I do remember, and this one really annoyed me, was that a lot of people were like, queer people don't have lives like that. Queer people, that's not true queer stories.
I reckon
and then
that's
I watched the
older.
movie, and the reason I cried so much is because, like, this is the first story, the first representation that is my story.
Yeah.
That is being gay in high school and worried about coming out in probably a time and a place and a situation where it was actually safe to come out, but you were still worried about it anyway.
Yeah.
And this movie came out 15 years after me. So, like, it was 15 years after I came out that I actually came across
Saw a good
queer
representation
character
of
that
your
was
story.
relevant to me.
I think that for people to say queer people don't have stories like this, I reckon that's probably coming from people that are of a different generation, because the stories are probably a bit more representative of people that age now.
Yes.
Because it's much more accepted than it was 40 years ago.
Yeah.
30 years ago, 15 years ago, whatever. So I think that it's a good representation because it's like, it shows that it's not a big deal to the people around him.
And I think...
But it also shows that it is a struggle, even though he says it, he knows that his friends and family will be fine with it, that it is still a stressful thing and a worrying thing to do, which is a good story to tell. Because that kid that is watching it and identifying with him will be like, oh, that's a normal feeling to have, even though it's just one
But
movie,
also,
you know.
one of the issues with representation that I saw when I was at high school was that there was no representation of the kid who is interested in sport, but also drama, but isn't camp and flamboyant. And so, like, there has been less representation of the character and the people that kind of the idea that I identified with, and that made it harder for me to come out. Because I felt like, if I come out now, are people going to expect me to be Jack from Will and Grace?
Yeah, but I'm Will.
Because even though Will is in there and just as gay as Jack, Jack being there is still this is what people think gay people are like. People think gay people are like Jack, and that's his thing in the sitcom.
Yeah.
Because Will is passing, which is the point of Grace. So, I think...
Look, I get what people are saying and that it is nice. But it's also good to just have a nice queer movie where somebody doesn't fucking die of AIDS in the end of it.
But also, it's also good that we're bringing a queer character into a mainstream story.
Yep.
Because if you imagine that you're 16, 17 going to see this movie and then the next year one of your classmates comes out,
Yeah.
this is going to colour your view of them coming out and how difficult that is for them. And, I've used it as people like, when people have asked me about my coming out, my times in high school, I'm like, just watch Love, Simon.
Yeah.
Because his difficulty about coming out and his whole world is going to change is
But I think it's
what
important.
a lot of people feel, as much as they're worried that dad's going to kick them out of home and they're going to live on the street.
But it's also, and I think it's a good story to tell because of the kids that have that thought. Because everybody that come out probably had that thought at some point.
Yeah.
Not that you're going to get kicked out, but it's going to change. And what are the consequences going to be?
And there is the contrast because Simon is like, yeah, mum's going to be fine with it because she actually spelt patriarchy correct. There's no second R in patriarchy.
Patriarchy.
Isn't there?
I'm pretty sure there is.
Patriarchy.
That says patriarchy. Oh, shit.
Anyway, that's minor to what we're discussing.
There's
There's the contrast of then Blue is more worried about his dad accepting it.
There is a second R.
Okay.
Patriarch.
Patriarchy. Blue is more worried about his dad accepting him.
Yeah.
And the other gay boy that I've forgotten the name
Ethan.
of. Ethan, thank you. His mum still tells grandparents that he's dating girls.
Yeah.
So there are those other queer representations within this story.
Yep.
And one of the articles that I read was like they had opportunities to go deeper into how difficult it is for queer people. And I'm like, no other movies do that.
Yeah, but that's also not what this movie is.
This movie is about Simon coming out.
Yeah.
It's not about Ethan dealing with being obviously gay and then bullied about it.
Yeah.
It's not
If
Blue
you want
having
that,
to
if you
deal
want
with
that
a religious
movie,
father.
have a spin-off. Like
Yeah.
that's a different movie. Make a different story.
And Love, Victor has that
yeah,
huge religious part of it.
yeah,
And there are other movies before and other TV shows and movies before and since that have those bigger struggles. No movie can do all the things
no,
because Boys Don't Cry doesn't tell us about the other trans person in New York City who's accepted.
yeah,
And so that's one of my big things about this movie is that most of the stories have been queer people coming out, getting kicked out of home and having the worst time in the world.
like the guy that started the Stonewall riots in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
He got kicked out of home for being gay, and he started a revolution himself.
Fuck. This podcast...
This movie is...
No, this podcast is going to run for 10 years, and in 2035, we'll be bloody 60 years old. Not,
and still bagging fucking
and
Stonewall.
And still me, I'll say once an episode, director of worst gay film of all time, hit ties the knot this summer.
I will say I get people's comments about the other sides of a coming out story that it doesn't tell.
Yep.
But this isn't that movie. The point of this movie is to be like, this is, I don't want to say normal. Compare this teen rom-com.
Yep.
Is this teen coming of age story is the same as a straight teen coming of age story.
And there is the scene where he says, when he types the big post on Creek Secrets at the end, coming out is a big deal, but all of us are going to have to tell the world who we are at some point.
Yeah.
You know, and he does it in the movie, Bram does it in the movie, Martin does it when he makes it clear to everyone that he's an asshole.
Yep.
Abby does it because she deserves a goddamn superhero.
I didn't like that scene.
Yeah, no. Well, anything with Martin in its shithouse. But it also then gives the scene where Simon tells
Abby.
no, the
Catherine
other girl,
Langford,
yeah,
Leah.
why he didn't tell her, why he didn't come out at the certain point. Like, that basically, there's huge parts of this movie that are for the allies, right?
Yes.
Because those scenes go to, the girl that I did my deb with in year 11 that I didn't come out to.
The other day.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
The girl that I did my deb ball with in year 11 that I didn't come out to.
Same.
The two guys that I was best friends with for the last 3 years of high school that were also gay that I didn't come out to. Like, like I said before, if you're sitting in the cinema as a 16-year-old kid and then a year later your friend comes out, you have a better understanding of why they didn't and why they are now. Because he says, I told Abby because that's a 6-month friendship ruined, not a 16-year friendship ruined.
Yeah.
And I didn't tell you sooner because of this and this and this, which, as much as it's slightly that American obviousness that I'm not a huge fan of, the fact that it has never been in a movie before gives it a little bit of a pass mark for me.
Yeah, I think that it does that well of, look, you can never fully explain to a straight person what coming out is like and the, leading up to it. But it does that somewhat well, as well as you can do it.
But it also puts in there the things like there were opportunities to come out and he didn't take them.
Yeah.
He could have said it at this point, but he didn't. The telling the safer person first. This was how, I don't want to get into the whole thing of my coming out story, but
what we've been talking about for the last 15 minutes.
One of my best friends in high school, her sister, when we were friends, was an out lesbian.
Yeah.
And I still didn't tell her.
Yeah.
Like, that's how much it can obviously fuck with your head. But then also that whole bit where all throughout the movie, where he thinks that any reasonably cute, not obviously straight guy could be blue.
Yeah.
That's a thing that I think a lot of queer people identify with, is like looking for that possibility. Maybe not the possibility of the guy that's been emailing you saying that he loves you.
Yes.
But the possibility of this could be a person that I could tell, or this could be a person that I can identify with. Mm-hmm. So it ticks a lot of those boxes. And I think for teens generally, even if they're not queer, it could be like, I'm the one kid at school that secretly likes death metal music. That kid wears a black T-shirt every day. Maybe it's him.
Yes.
It's that still finding yourself and the coming of age thing, which is what this movie is.
Yeah.
So representation score.
It's a coming of age, coming out movie.
Yeah. But it's also, if you don't separate the coming out bit, it still works on its own as a coming of age story.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he meets someone and he has to work out how to make a relationship with the person in amongst the struggle of being 100 days till graduation.
Yeah.
Yeah, which Molly Ringwald made a career out of.
Yeah. She made 3 movies.
Her career. The extent of her career. Representation, I'm going, personally, I'm going to give it a 4.
All right. I was going to give it a 4 as well, but then I'm like, why wouldn't I give it a 5? So I'm going to give it a 4.5.
Well, why wouldn't I give it a 5?
That's what I was thinking. Like, where would there's? I think that
I do. Despite all of what I've said about other people saying it, I do feel like his coming out could have been a little harder to kind of make the point to people that there are difficulties that come after the coming out. Because other than that bullying scene,
but that was more about he was outed, not he came out.
Yeah. I did really like, and we'll get to it when we get to dialogue, I did really like the moment that he had with Martin after, where he was like, you don't get to decide that.
Just punch Martin in the face.
Oh,
Jesus.
I hope that he's
Wear
good
a real
after this.
T-shirt, you fuckwit.
I hope that he's good after this. Like, he pays for that last Ferris wheel ride.
Gay.
Yeah, he's a dick. If I was Martin's brother and I heard about that, I'd be taken away.
And also,
I'd be burning all his shit T-shirts.
get a haircut.
Also, not a good actor.
Oh, and also the one that most of part, it was like, they're not teenagers, but they don't look. It's not Grease, they don't look 30.
Yeah,
Except for Martin, I was like, he looks old.
he's the Freddie Prinze Jr.
Yeah, he looks old.
We did. I know what you did last summer on Tooting Cinema.
The others still look like they could be teenagers.
Yeah,
or in school. He looks 30 nearly.
yeah. I reckon Abby and Leah look the youngest.
Yeah.
Of the four kids, Nick Robinson's probably looks the oldest.
Yeah.
He's a producer and in Love, Victor.
Yes.
Yeah. Season 3 of Love, Victor, I'm like...
Did I watch that?
Well, season 1 good, season 2 not as good, but good. Season 3, we watched like 3 episodes, and then like Shane and I were spending most of our time yelling at stupid teenagers. And then we were just
I watched it, right?
It's too just teen drama for me.
Did I watch it? I'll tell you what, if I did, it mustn't have been very good.
Scoring low on the memorability.
Yeah. So you're sticking with a 4 for representation?
4.25. I'm going to upgrade it.
Radio.
Iconicness.
Oh, I changed yours, not mine. That's fine.
Well, you got to change yours too now.
No, it's all right. We'll be fine.
No, but when we go back through the records, and someone audits us,
our pride scores.
When someone looks and goes, "Hey, which one of you didn't score?"
When the pride score is some sort of actual movie scoring thing.
Yeah.
All right. In the pride score is for iconicness.
Okay. When he is super gay at college, it's to Whitney Houston.
Yes, but he breaks the fourth wall.
Oh.
But it's a narrative movie. You know what I mean? He's talking to us the whole time.
Yeah. No, he's talking to Blue. But also, okay, maybe not that gay, is to Blue. Because I reckon in that email, he's describing the scene.
Is he though?
No, he's not talking to us. In the whole movie, he's talking to Blue.
Yeah, but does he need to look at the camera?
No.
I know. It's just a thing I have sometimes, breaking the fourth wall. It's not like the shit bit in Jumanji where the kid that's a monkey looks at the thing. Anyway.
And it's not Deadpool.
It's not Deadpool.
It led to a TV series.
As we just discussed, might have been good.
Well, the first one was good. And I think the TV series is also a very mainstream queer teen drama, which we're getting a few more. We've got Heartstopper, we've got Sex Education.
Yeah.
So there is more of them happening, probably since this movie.
What you call it?
Heartbreak High.
Yeah. But that's more flow on from Sex Education because it's basically the same.
Yeah,
it's
right.
the same series, except in Australia.
I haven't watched it.
I watched the first. It was actually kind of funny in the first one.
Do you think they
first episode
tossed up whether or not to name it Sex Education Australia? You know, like they have like The Office and The Office US.
Yeah.
And then they went, oh, actually, I feel like we'd get more Aussies watching it if we just renamed it Heartbreak High and rebooted Heartbreak High.
Because it is legit ticking all the boxes.
Yeah. I've just seen the poster and I know that.
Yeah.
It is, as we've said, first mainstream teen rom-com with a queer main character.
Yeah.
Because we've got rom-coms with the teen comedies with the queer characters, like Too Gay to Function in Mean Girls and Comic Relief in countless others. The Gay Best Friend.
Yeah. Is that kid gay in High School Musical?
Which kid?
The one that's like Sharpay's brother. Why do I know her name?
Because iconicness, Sharpay. I think so.
No, he's camp. He's just real camp.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
I think disappointing. Anyway, it's not important. It's the main thing, and it's not comic relief.
Yeah, and I think it's going to become iconic.
I think so, but I think that's the problem. It's only been 4 years.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 3.5 for iconicness.
Okay, let me make sure I put that in the right spot.
Because I think the book had quite an impact as well.
I'm going to give it a 2.5.
I don't quite get the title of the book. It's Simon versus the Homo sapien agenda. I guess the Homo sapien agenda is heteronormity.
Yeah, but is he against it? I haven't read the book.
I think it's versus, not against. It's Simon versus the Homo sapien agenda. And the Homo sapien agenda, I thought it should have been like heterosexual agenda. But the Homo sapien agenda is heterosexuality.
Yes.
And heteronormativity.
Yeah.
Not nativity.
Not nativity.
That's next month.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
I gave it a 2.5 for iconicness.
All right. Dialogue in the D is the D in Pride. And it is...
This is where we quote the teachers again.
Yeah, this covers dialogue and acting. It's well acted. The girl that plays Abby is a very good actor.
Yes.
Particularly in that scene where he comes out to her.
Yeah.
Her reactions when he just pulls over.
Are you surprised? No. Did you know? No.
Do you want me to be surprised? But before that, her reaction to just... her 17-year-old boy that's driving pulling over. She's like, oh, I'm already fighting off Martin. Don't make me fight off one of my best friends too.
Is he going to try be my superhero now?
Yeah, is he going to try? Even if you had no feelings for Simon, you'd date Simon to get rid of Martin.
Yeah.
And
beard it up.
If I was Simon, like I have done at many nightclubs for girls,
100%.
I would hang around her to get rid of him.
If that was a full-time job, I would be like the GOAT.
Oh, yeah.
But also, because the thing about that is, I'm giving everyone a TED talk about it now. You have to know, and you have to know when to, they'll be like, no, they're not interested, but maybe they are, so like, good, off you go. That's the balance between being a wingman and being a protector.
Yeah. I was
very good at it.
I was mainly the protector.
Yeah.
Because
I've pretended to be many people's boyfriend.
I'm sure
Boyfriend did I pretend to be?
at Vault, remember Vault?
Oh, Vault. Jeez.
So Vault's the nightclub at the shopping centre in Werribee. So anyone that hasn't been to Vault...
Is it still a thing?
Yeah, but it's in amongst the new rebuild of the Plaza Tavern.
Oh, okay.
Anyone that hasn't been to Vault, the nightclub at the shopping centre in Werribee sums it up.
Yeah.
Is all you need to know, right?
For our international listeners.
So when Macca's used to close, we would go after sometimes.
Okay.
Or if someone I worked at Macca's had a party, we'd go after. So it would be like 2 a.m. or something.
One of the two places to go.
Yeah.
That or Mint.
Well, Mint wasn't a thing when I was 18.
Oh, I went to Mint.
It came a bit after.
Goon bag.
So I'm sure that the DJ at Vault thought I was some kind of Casanova because I would walk in, 2 guys and 6 girls.
Yeah.
And I would like full proper dirty dance with 4 of those girls and then walk out with them. Yeah. All because of the creeps of Werribee.
With the creeps of the world.
But they all had boyfriends, so I never had to be wingman. I was just protector.
Okay, right. Yeah.
Yeah. But
the boyfriends didn't go out.
No, because we went out after Macca's.
Oh, that's right.
So it wasn't like, hey, I just closed
Smelling
Macca's
oil.
at 1:30 in the morning. Come and meet me at Vault.
Okay. Yeah, true.
So if I was Abby, I would have dated Simon even after he came out in order to not have to deal with Martin.
Yeah. I would have done many things to not have to deal with Martin.
She's a very good actor. All of the kids are. The girl that plays Leah, I just feel like for her it's a 13 Reasons Why prequel character. Like I feel like this it's
the same, bit of the same.
Flows on into... It did actually, time-wise and release-wise, literally flow onto 13 Reasons Why too.
I think it's funny, or not funny, like she's good in this.
Yep.
But like compared to 13 Reasons Why, I'm just like meh, because she is very good at it.
Yeah, but in Love, Simon, she's just a girl.
She's just a girl that is a bit weird.
Yeah. She's good. Nick is good. The one thing that Nick says, like, you know, I've only had sex once.
Yeah.
No one tells you how slippery it
Dark
is. And the bit that you think are the right thing is not the right thing.
There's good, like, writing, like, the through lines. I don't know if that's the right
Yeah, it is.
phrase.
Did you go to film school?
No.
Oh, surprising.
Of, you know, the sister with the baking.
Yeah, and all the
dad's
cooking.
useless. And Martin in his fucking T-shirts.
Fucking Martin. Some of those puns are funny, but I wouldn't wear them on a T-shirt.
And the thing I noticed this watch, the first time, you know, and he's always, I was obsessed with Panic at the Disco. It wasn't for music. And then when in the college scene, and all the posters on the wall, one of them is like of the guy from Panic at the Disco.
He's a good-looking man.
He's a good-looking man.
Pete Wentz?
Brendan Urie. Pete Wentz is
Fallout Boy. He's also a good-looking man.
Is he the one that's with Nicole Richie?
Maybe.
No, that's a Madden brother.
I could have
Ashley
had
Simpson.
See, that's what I also identified with in representation. I identified with him pretending to have a little emo face because the boys in the bands were good looking.
Pete Wentz was with Ashley Simpson, I think.
Oh, this is the
Somebody
shittest.
will tell me.
This is the shittest headline I've ever read.
Director of worst gay movie.
That's the best. Now, this was like Nick Lachey seems to throw shade at Jessica Simpson in Love is Blind reunion. Like, is he or isn't he?
The one that he hosts with his new wife.
Yeah. But he said, you know, the comment was he said something about a failed marriage.
Yeah.
And so this blogger, who's obviously got no other thing to write about, has decided that Nick Lachey might have had a go at Jessica Simpson.
I hate clickbait. Only because I'm not a gullible person. Except for clickbait. Not like click on a thing. I was like some articles like LGBTQ actors that played straight roles.
Yeah.
And one of them's like Ian McKellen playing Gandalf. I'm like, it's not like
I think I saw
Neil
that
Patrick Harris playing Barney Stinson. That's like the straightest role ever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's like, I'm like,
But
that
also,
doesn't count.
the one
It's
I love-
Gandalf. He's like asexual.
The one I love about Neil Patrick Harris is that at the same time that he's wrapping up How I Met Your Mother, he's on Broadway in Hedwig and the Angry Inch.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's range.
Yeah.
Tony Hale.
Tony Hale nails it.
Not Hedwig.
Could do hit. Oh, yeah.
He's so funny. He's Arrested Development, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Veep.
Oh, yeah, Veep.
fantastic
He's
in Veep.
very good in Veep. But this is within comedy. Sometimes you get actors, Keegan-Michael Key, who stay in comedy and just do the one thing.
Yeah.
But then you get actors that are broad who do a comedy and then a drama.
Yeah.
Tony Hale has stayed within comedy and done different things.
Yeah.
Like Arrested Development and Veep are very different.
Yeah, they're similar kind of
And
humour.
Love, Simon is very different
Isn't
again.
something else somewhat recently? Oh, Toy Story 4.
Oh, Joan Cusack.
Ooh.
Is this a Make-A-Wish situation?
God, that was funny. And you know what I think I liked most about the acting is that with the kids, the four main ones,
They had rapport.
they had reports. They had rapports.
Yes. Michael Rappaport from
Michael Rappaport.
Atypical.
Sure. It just seemed like friends having a chat.
They were friends, yeah.
Especially when they would. Wow, there was one bit.
Before the Halloween party,
Maybe it was that bit.
where they're in the courtyard and he's like, I'm Ronaldo. And then
You
Wonder
didn't
Woman
call
comes
you.
in like, she's Ronaldo. Oh, he's Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's like
She is the
you
hottest
look like-
Wonder Woman pre-Gal Gadot.
She's like, oh, you look like blah, and you look like Jesus. And it's like, no, I was like,
Why would I go as Jesus?
Don't tell me, you're the one who started dressed like fancy
Fancy
Jesus.
Jesus.
And then like the scenes in the car, it's just very like normal friends.
Yeah.
And then
they start dancing
and
to the
then
music. Leah can't dance in time.
The family chemistry as well
Yeah.
is very good.
It's
I want Josh Jamal to be my friend.
Oh, I thought you were going to say
Nice
dad.
guy, Josh Jamal.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
happy
so.
with my dad.
Jennifer Garner and Josh Duhamel are good movie parents. If I was in a movie, I'd be happy for them to be my parents.
Yeah.
If I couldn't have my own parents.
I'm also happy with the casting. I believe that Nick Robinson could be the child of Josh Duhamel and Jennifer Garner.
Yeah.
The daughter, not so much.
Yeah, but look at our parents and there's no red hair between them.
Well, if anybody who knows a redhead, look at my face. I was in the sun today. I think, it's all that kind of chemistry and kind of the everyday dialogue that's good. But then it's also like the good thing about the story in general is how we don't know who he's talking to either. So we're kind of along for the thing as well. When he mentions Game of Thrones.
When it changes, and then when it's just that Oreos, generic good-looking boy, and then it changes
Jewish.
to Bram, but then it changes to Lyle, but then it changes to Cal.
Yeah. I'm glad it wasn't Cal, let's be honest.
One thing about...
he was average.
Cal was all right.
Like, he's like... he is much better in 13 Reasons Why than this as well.
Oh, yeah.
But it's also, like, heavier material to deal with.
Yes. Not just kind of playing the piano.
What did he do? Was he the one that stole all the guns?
Yeah, I think so.
13 Reasons Why is also like Love Victor in the fact that the first season was great. The rest...
It didn't need it.
We didn't need... The second one I can see...
I didn't watch it because I'm like...
The third one they introduced its new character that was the main character. And I'm like, who are you?
I just felt like season 2 and 3... should have been spin-offs of How to Get Away with Murder, not...
Also another show that didn't need more seasons.
13 Reasons Why is the title. Make 13 episodes. It's about one girl's 13 Reasons Why. Yeah, but don't make them 26 and then don't make them 39.
Yeah.
I had to do maths in my head then.
And also, they did the same kind of thing in the second season with it, like, following the court case.
Oh, okay.
It. And it was like, you know how in the first one it's like a tape is an episode?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure...
A cross-examination is an episode.
It was like a piece of evidence was an episode or something.
Yeah, okay. But
So
then
it's like
season 3 is just another fucking murder mystery, isn't it? Or something.
Yeah, somebody else got killed.
Yeah, like what's that?
They killed the guy that... spoiler alert, they killed the guy that actually raped her. Anyway.
Oh, okay.
It was rape, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
I can't remember. It's one of those series I don't know if I could watch 13 Reasons Why again. It was quite intense, especially towards the end. And now it's the reason why everything has disclaimers on the start of it.
Yeah.
Impact.
Well, it did have disclaimers on those last 2 episodes.
Not originally, but then people watched it and were
yeah.
like, you need to put something on this. And then they cut scenes out, basically, because it was like one scene was like a YouTube tutorial of how to kill yourself. Anyway, that got deep. We're talking a bit too much about 13 Reasons Why.
I'll tell you a joke to bring it back.
Okay, good.
What do you get when you cross black and Jewish?
Bluish.
Bluish, which is where he obviously got his name from.
But that was towards the end.
No, Martin says the joke. Totally separate. But I reckon, I reckon that's
Martin
how
said it
Bram
before.
came up with his name.
Oh, okay.
Black Jew.
Well, it's not like Martin's original joke.
No, but also I don't think Bram likes Martin at all because he's human.
Does anybody?
And I reckon Blue's just come up on that his own, but the writer has put that joke in there so we know.
We know.
Yeah. Clever.
Look,
I thought it was, what do you get when you cross black and Jewish? It's going to be Sammy Davis Jr., but that's different. One good quote about the sexuality thing is when Jennifer Garner says, you get to be more you than you've been in a very long time.
Yeah.
Which is one of the moments I cried.
Yeah, one of the 18 moments you cried.
Before we do entirety, no, we've got to give a score for dialogue.
That's true.
3.5.
Oh.
Some bits were a bit non-authentic.
All right, I'm giving it a 4.
I was an extra in The Lion King.
Get down there. You don't get to do that. Yes, I do, because you just did that shitty thing in front of high school.
You can't talk to us like that.
I'm going to sell it. Get my tubes
Get my
tied.
tubes tied.
Also, the thing that I didn't like is the conversation of the assistant principal talking to a student about Tinder. Bit too friendly there, Mr. Whatever you...
Mr. Hale. And then
I don't know his name.
when he comes the next day, he's wearing the pride flag.
Yeah.
He says, when I said we had a lot in common, I didn't mean that, just so you know.
This isn't life. This is life.
Yeah. No phones.
Plugged, unplugged.
He's so good. Before we go on to entirety, I'm going to add a C to Pride.
Predict.
So before we go on to entirety,
Yeah.
you have done a little side note, didn't you, of all the 2-drink cinema categories?
Oh, I was like, if we did it for 2-drink cinema, it would score quite well.
Because we said in a recent 2-drink cinema episode, if you can find a movie that scores over 75, we'll let you be on the show.
Be this.
This is high, though.
Because there's no nostalgia.
There's no nostalgia. There's not a lot of horniness, which is another criticism that I read in an article, is we only accept and like Simon because he is safe and very nice and squeaky clean. Like, watch how many other teen movies have just like a 17-year-old boy acting as horny as a 17-year-old boy is? None.
High School Musical? Hairspray?
Yeah, that's a separate category.
Separate category.
But you know what I mean?
60s, everybody was horny.
Like, American teen rom-coms generally aren't horny movies. So to say an issue with Love, Simon is they've taken the sex out of a queer character is not true.
It's also, he's 17. That's like...
And you can't, like, you might compare it to, like, American Pie, but American Pie is its own thing. It's a sexual...
It's a sex movie.
It's a sex movie. Like, more like Animal House than Pretty in Pink.
Yeah.
To do a same era thing.
Yeah.
Like...
I think, it's not that horny, all right? But alcohol, there's a little bit of alcohol.
He gets very drunk. Martin spews on him, and is. I like when Jennifer Garner and Josh Duhamel are like, John Lennon's wearing a woman's cardigan, and he's very. How do we feel about that?
How do you feel about? Well, he didn't drink a drive. He's home before curfew.
I thought that's what we think about that. So it's a bit of alcohol, a bit of horniness. Oh, in the book, there's more horniness in the book because there's a scene where there's a couple of emails back and forward and they quite enjoy those emails back and forwards. Yeah.
Glad they cut that.
Yeah.
Horniness,
big house.
Big representation.
Impact.
Basically anything anybody says about Martin is an insult.
Yes.
Enclosure, big house.
Impact, enclosure,
Coke,
big.
Pepsi,
Coke, Pepsi, we don't know. Quotability. Oh, I'm going to get my tubes tied. I was an extra in The Lion King.
Rewatchability is high.
Yeah.
Overall is high, assuming
when we get
the end of this as well.
When we get stumped next year we'll just watch this again
do it on
2-drink cinema. Yeah.
It's like how we're going to watch Rocky Horror again on this.
There's quite a few that we've already done on 2-drink that could go in the queer list.
So it would score quite well.
But I cried when he reads Blue's first post. Like, that's how early I cry.
Because you're like, I want a pen pal.
Well, yeah. But also...
The soundtrack's good.
It got me in the feels for the crying, but also, like, I had the anxiety feelings. Like, of me, if I was 17 reading a post like that of another kid at school coming out, I would have been like, oh, and I got those feelings. When he came out to Abby, I got all the anxious.
Right.
And I cried then.
Yep.
When he's outed... Cried.
Yep.
When he tells the family Christmas morning, cried.
Is this a Christmas movie?
No, there's just Christmas in it, like Harry Potter.
Right.
When the mum talks to him, everyone cries.
Oh,
but then, as I said, she just leaves him.
That's when I
she just walks out.
That's when I teared up the most.
When he hugs Josh Duhamel, cried out of emotions and jealousy.
Yep.
When they play the anniversary video.
Oh my fucking God. When they show the dog.
And obviously, from the moment that Bram walks up till the credits, I was moist that whole time.
I remember watching it in the thing, in the cinemas, that's what they're called. And I was sitting there by myself, as we mentioned before, and there was like youngish girls there. And they were all like, and then at the end, when he got on the screen, they were all like, oh, and clapped.
This article
like,
that I read.
And I'm like in the corner, like, you got to walk home after this.
This article that I read said that the crowd cheered and moaned when they kissed on the Ferris wheel. I'm like, I did not hear a moan of
hear a moan.
protestation.
Protestation.
Yeah, the only moan was the boys. Really, let's be honest, about 25 minutes after that Ferris wheel.
They went around again.
Yeah.
Didn't take long.
Look, overall, it's great. The idea of this Creek Secrets thing freaks me the fuck out and makes me glad I'm as old as I am.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Imagine if even MySpace had been a thing when we'd been in high school.
Ooh.
Like, you got out just before. I was out a few years before that.
Yeah.
Imagine if, MySpace.
Oh, and the politics of having your top friends. Whoa.
Yeah, especially in the high school.
Because one spot always has to be kept for Tom from MySpace.
I saw a meme the other day. God, I'm on fire with the fucking
memes
today. Elon Musk is doing what he does to Twitter.
And everybody's leaving, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the biggest one was like, Gigi Hadid leaves Twitter and it's, well, then what's the point of being on it?
And there's no point.
Whoopi Goldberg's off Twitter. Great. Care more about that.
There's a meme that was like, Tom let us have everything and ask nothing in return, and we turned our back on him.
Oh, Tom.
Bring back MySpace, Justin Timberlake. Come on.
Yeah. Justin Timberlake.
He bought MySpace.
Oh.
And then was in the social media movie.
That's right.
Yeah.
Social network, yeah.
Mainstream
I tell
teen
you
movie. It works as a teen rom-com on its own. It's also a queer movie, so it's two big ticks.
Kind of phoned it in with the Halloween costumes. Not just the main ones. The whole... I was looking in the background like...
That guy's just wearing Speedos.
This guy's just wearing... One girl... The funniest one that I want to steal is she was dressed as a crayon.
Oh, yeah.
That was funny.
Abby went all out, though. Showed a lot of leg, all her leg.
Yeah, she was sending some messages.
Not to Martin.
Oh.
Do you know what? You know the Halloween costumes?
Yep.
That's teenagers. The point of the Halloween party is the drinking, not the costumes.
Yes.
Once
Yep.
you leave college and become an adult, it becomes about
Slutty costumes.
slutty pumpkin or whatever.
I watched an episode of Saturday Night Live yesterday. Side note, don't know how much longer that's going to be around. All the good people have left, really. The best person on it now is Cecily Strong, which, she's great.
Are all the good people on TikTok now?
Yeah.
Making sketches on TikTok.
I think that there's this... They have the weekend update segment in the Saturday Night Live. They should just do that as a separate show, and that's it.
Make that a TikTok channel.
I don't need to see Megan Thee Stallion trying to act.
Yeah.
Although the episode last night, because it was Halloween, and they did this funny thing it was like a sports live cross, and they were like, we're on the street of the city, and who are we going to see tonight? It was like a red carpet thing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, a great addition to Halloween night, drunk slutty Pikachu. And then it's like, like this. And they go, an angry guy whose costume wasn't appreciated enough, and all these kind of funny things.
That's me.
Oh, that's me. I always try to get clever with my costumes. What did I do once?
Remember the year we had a sexy Halloween party and you had to come as something sexy?
I came as a sexy nerd.
And our friend...
I just walked in dressed like myself.
Our friend wanted to come as the Ace of Spades because Ace was her nickname.
Yeah.
And she was like, I was just going to do like a cardboard cutout. We're like, we'll just make it 6 inches shorter and wear fishnets. And she was the sexy
that when
Ace.
Someone dressed as someone from the police academy?
Yeah, we're not talking about that one.
What was I saying?
Her nickname was Hightower.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't come as a foff.
You could have. Sexy
foff.
Sexy Bruce Lee.
Sexy Chuck Norris. Look.
I'm giving it a 4.3. No, I can't do that.
4.3?
I'm giving it a 4.5 entirety.
Right.
Big part of that is rewatchable.
Also giving it a 4.5.
This is in my top 20.
I would say as well, yes.
It could be in my top 10.
It's not a sentence. It could almost be in there. That's the sentence. Look, it's...
I'm sorry,
It's... What are you doing? It's
I'm just seeing if we've got any more notes.
It's well acted, it's well themed, it's mainstream, it's a good story, it tells it well, Josh Duhamel's in it. He doesn't do enough these days.
No.
Well, one of my notes is Lee definitely cried.
That's true, I did. A lot. One thing I thought, in that first email, he says a lot.
Simon.
Yeah. If Blue's paying attention, because Bram is friends with Simon. Would he know that he's got a sister?
That he's got a sister
that
that's
cooks?
bad at baking. But are they friends? Because his main friends are the four, you know.
Yeah, but if you think about people that were on your periphery of a friends.
You would know that my mum is a therapist and that my dad was a quarterback at, I'm assuming, the same school.
Well, that's what I said as well. If, like we've said in previous episodes of maybe other movies.
And if you're gay, you know Josh Duval.
You've
noticed Simon's dad.
You've
Let's
noticed
be
Simon's
honest.
dad.
Come on.
Yeah. I feel like they're...
Simon's dad has something that rhymes with dad. I don't know.
Oh, got me down bad. I saw a parody on TikTok.
Got me down bad.
Yeah, there's a someone's dad.
Down bad.
Yeah, this
down is like down.
They're like down for it.
Oh, like down.
DTF.
DTF.
Yeah. There's a
Once I was
Stacey's dad parody that I saw on TikTok.
once I was in a gay club.
Yeah.
And I was with my friend who is straight. And we were just standing there, whatever. I don't know why we went there.
Anyway.
And the friend of this guy, she came up and spoke to me and was like, oh, can you tell your friend that my friend says he's DTF? And I told my friend, he's like, what does that mean? I'm like, down to fuck. He's like, oh, no thanks, but thanks. I'm like, Jay, what are you doing? Oh.
No thanks, but thanks.
Anyway.
It always weirds me out that they like have Christmas and then go straight back to school virtually.
Oh, the idea of American school life fucks me up. And there's every time that this school is just a school.
Yeah.
It's a public school.
Yeah.
And it freaks me out how much money public schools have for sport. They have a fucking stadium.
I've spoken to people about that because I know and have met, and they've lived in my house, college athletes.
Yeah.
One of the big reasons for that is that people don't generally play sport. So, like you're playing netball in your mid-30s and I'm still playing baseball in my mid-30s and Dad played baseball till his 60s.
Yeah.
If you don't get picked up out of college, if you don't get picked up out of high school,
you stop playing sport.
You're done. If you don't get picked up out of college, you're basically done. There's social leagues and stuff, but not like we have. And so that means that if you love baseball but didn't get picked up out of college, you go to your local high school or college games.
To watch
So
it.
instead of spending your Saturday afternoon playing tennis and then have sausage rolls and a can of Coke after, you go to your high school football game.
Oh, God.
Which makes the whole thing bigger because crowds actually go to high school football.
And homecoming and shit.
Well, I only recently put together, I'm an idiot, that homecoming is when ex-students come back to watch the big game. Yeah, I'm an idiot, all right?
And they have homecoming queen and prom queen.
Yeah, Sarah Michelle Gellar,
Yeah.
I assume.
But if you never leave, do you still come home?
Home, the school home.
Home. Your spiritual home.
Yeah.
Anywho.
What's the score?
So the total
out of 50.
Out of 50 is 39.5.
Oh, that's very good.
So guess what?
It's in top spot?
It's in top spot.
Oh, beat the birdcage.
It is 1 point ahead of the birdcage.
Nick Robinson, you beat Robin Williams.
There you go.
He's better looking than Robin Williams. Just hear those sleigh bells ringing and ding, 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 ding. What are we doing?
Well,
my choice, is it?
It could be. I've got something in my head.
I have something in my head, but I feel like we're just going to watch it to be a bit ironic about it.
Die Hard?
Yeah. No, Alan Rickman is European, not gay.
Oh, okay.
My suggestion was going to be Single All the Way.
Single All the Way!
From 2021.
Oh, which one's that again?
That's the one...
That Kristen Stewart?
I think is the friend.
Yeah, okay.
I can't remember. I just remember that... Hang on.
Where Kristen Stewart's like the girlfriend and she goes home and it pretends to be...
No, I think it's the boy one.
The friend. Oh, Single All the Way, the guy from the thing and with the friend. Yeah, okay.
Yeah? Yeah, it is.
Okay.
How bad's that? I just had in my head that Single All the Way was a possibly bad gay Christmas movie. Desperate to avoid his family's judgment about being single, Peter persuades best friend Nick to pose as his boyfriend on a trip home for the holidays. So what it is
and that's
he
got
takes
Mary
the
Steenburgen in it.
yeah he takes the best friend home to pretend to be the boyfriend. They're just best friend. They're just gay best friends. They're not in love, but then they're in love. Yeah. Spoiler alert.
I've done the opposite of that.
They're in love. You took someone as your partner and you hate them now.
No, I took someone, or just somebody came to Christmas, and my auntie assumed that he was my boyfriend.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, we all want that to be true, but it's not.
Oh dear. I've got comments about our family Christmas, but they're best for off here. Thanks for listening to another episode of Rainbow Popcorn. We're doing Single All the Way on the Netflix.
That'll take over the top spot.
I doubt it, but it'll be better than bloody fucking... I can't even remember the name of it. Stonewall. worst gay film of all time. Thank you for listening. Subscribe to the podcast. Like and subscribe if you're on the YouTube channel. Leave us comments below or get in touch on the socials at Rainbow Popcorn Pod, and head over to Drink Cinema. We're about to start Christmas movies over there with A Muppet Christmas Carol because it's 30 years of that. So enjoy those. Thank you, Brett.
Thanks, Lee.